An emotional night for sure for Brad Marchand and his former teammates. With that, we welcome you to Bruins Overtime Live, presented by buyatoyota.com with Razor and Barry. I'm Sophia. We're definitely going to touch on Brad Marchand's night because obviously that was one of the major storylines. But there was also a hockey game going on. The Bruins trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Unfortunately, they increase it to 5. The Florida Panthers do finish their road trip with 1 win. They were also riding a 4-game losing streak. And guys, they were close, the Bruins, but unfortunately, in the final 25 seconds, a goal gets
Yeah,
by.
it was a slow start for the Bruins with that tough day of travel off of, 3 games and 4 nights out west. So you knew they were going to be trying to get their legs under. And then you have the Marchand ceremony, and that kind of gets you going a little bit. But they had a great third period. It looked like they were going to at least get a victory, maybe a point out of it. What a brutal bounce at the end.
That's a brutal way to lose that game.
Yep.
It's if they lose 2-0 and don't have the legs and it's from the trip and it's expected, and then to give the effort that they gave to bring this thing all the way back from 2-0 to 2-2, get it, give up the lead, then get the one at the end, you're at least a point. And now we've got 4 one-goal games losses out of the last 5, and you just feel like these points are just so valuable, and the frustration.
Yeah, you could just see that at the end, the way it went.
Yeah,
the whole bench.
Yeah, and then we can, we'll see how this goes, but that can roll in and keep going. The Bruins have to find a way to break that. Why don't we show you this little comeback, starting with Morgan Geekie's third period goal?
Yeah, this is where you're coming. You win a face-off, and all of a sudden you get over to Pasta. He one-times it, and Middlestat makes a beautiful pass to Geekie, and the place goes crazy. There you got the emotion. It's 3-3, and we're sitting there going, okay, now we can at least get into overtime.
100%. This now it's and all third period. You said it, Barry. It feels like even at 3-2, it feels like they're going to get one.
Yep.
It feels like they're going to get another one. They had great energy. They had great hop. Whatever Marco Sturm, whatever the leader said in that dressing room after the second, it really paid off. And they really brought it in the third, and they took it to Florida the entire period. And this goal, it just feels like you're in a perfect position to win the game. But
this is a problem right here, boy. You got to get back in a play. And then all of a sudden it goes off of Peake's legs. Verhaeghe hits the post. And it looked like, to me, I thought Swayman kind of looked like with his body language that he thought this was in.
Well,
at first, right?
It looked like that for me as
right
well.
There.
And he's just too far out. He's gotten sliding to his right. He's way out in the white paint, unfortunately. Not that any of this has to do with the fact that I went in. I've never seen this. I've watched a lot of hockey games, seen a lot of goals get scored. But to see Peake skate into it.
Come off a leg from that far out, right?
Yeah, it wasn't like it was like a reaction where it just hit him 2 feet away from the post.
Yeah.
He's inside the bottom of the circles where that is.
And only 26 seconds left, and that's the frustration. That's the way the night ended.
Man. That's tough.
That's definitely going to be a storyline, not just X's and O's, but how to mentally take charge of the game when stuff like that happens. And Razor, like you said, when you're kind of losing by a goal, you finally get things going and end up losing again. 5 straight for the Boston Bruins. Let's take you to our Subaru star of the game, brought to you by Subaru of New England. Of course, it is Brad Marchand, not just because he returned, but he did put up some points, 2 assists, including the one on the first goal, which was 1 minute and 1 second in, a +1 rating, just 1 shot on net, played a total of 1938. And of course, guys, his first game back at the Garden. We remember that the Florida Panthers, after the trade deadline last season, came to the Garden as the very next game, but Brad Marchand was injured and was not playing. He was active, guys. Here he is.
Yeah, this is the way it started. 33 seconds in with a penalty to Asamont, and then they're on the power play. And you just kind of knew, didn't you, from the way the game started with all the emotion and everything, and with the way Marshy's career has gone, that he was going to be involved in this somehow.
No question. He was going to get on the board tonight. There wasn't much doubt for me, and the fact that he did it 1 minute and 1 second into the first was fitting for him. Not surprising because of his competitiveness and his ability to show up in the big moments.
Yeah, we had said, pregame, one of the Bruins' problems have been, we talked about travel. This was a tough travel day for them, to say the least. But starts to hockey games, starts to periods have been a little bit of a problem for them here early on this season.
They have. He also assisted. We showed you that one with Sam Miscavige. Now we're going to show you his assist on the third period Luosterainen goal as well, where Brad Marchand puts up his second point of the night.
Yeah, and this is frustrating. This just can't happen.
No.
You can't be able to. A team in the National Hockey League cannot come through the neutral zone with that much speed without any resistance in any way whatsoever. There has to be a better read, there has to be better support, and there has to be better effort, I guess, at the end of the day. It's just that was tough because, again, we talked about it. The Florida Panthers did not have much in the third period, and they got a couple gifts.
And with Lorei there, you got to be stronger on your stick. You just can't allow that type of positioning get inside of you when you had him in the neutral zone to begin with. He struggled. I mean, he got outmuscled on 2 goals.
Yes.
And that really hurt them tonight.
Yeah, we didn't lead with the Bruins comeback because they didn't end up completing it, but they did have a great third period.
Yes.
We're going to start with Jeremy Swayman making a very important save here on Sam Bennett that kind of got things going for them.
Yes, we were a little nervous here with the last 2 penalties late in the second period, knowing that the next one, 3-0, is real tough to come down from in this game with the travel. And this was a really big save from Jeremy Swayman. The timing of it allowed his team to get going. Bennett's really struggled scoring goals, and Swayman made it even harder for him.
Yeah,
tonight.
we're sitting in the green room. We just said, hey, let's mark this. It's 2-0. Doesn't feel really good here early on, but that's a huge save that allowed them to get back into the hockey game.
Yeah, and shortly after, Pavel Zacha, who's been great so far this season, second goal of the season for him from someone who sat out the other game, Casey Middlestad.
Yeah, and he had Middlestad with a couple of helpers tonight. Did a good job. This is a bad giveaway right here by Greer going all the way back. You don't know why when you're that close. And all of a sudden the Bruins are able to tic-tac-toe at Middlestat to Zacha. And just really nice play here by Arvidsson. But, boy, right here, Greer has that puck. It's got to go the other way.
Oh, man. If he still had black and gold on, we'd be talking very much 5 feet inside your own blue line, 2-0 game. That baby better come out, but the Bruins were able to take advantage of it. And a nice job by that second
And
line.
you can feel the crowd getting into it, going, hey, maybe now we got a little bit of energy and get going here in the third period.
And they got even more into it when there was a penalty against Florida, and Elias Lindholm finally at the end here scoring a power play goal.
Yeah, and we were talking about the opportunities to power play. The guys on the national level were talking about it. The Bruins were too much on the perimeter, but you could see them kind of trying to get things to the inside, trying to get things to the net. And this was amazing. A simple point shot with a little deflection and a little traffic in front, right, Razor?
It's not easy when there's 6 bodies in front of the net for number 72, and you can see David was trying to hit Lindholm a couple other times with that pass tip bumper play. And finally, with all the movement, as Ray Ferraro was talking about, all the movement from David Pastrnak paid off. And now 4:46 into the third period, the Garden's rocking. You have the momentum. You got the big save, 2 quick goals. Really feeling it at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bruins 1 for 5 tonight with the man advantage. Unfortunately, they lose 4-3 the final to the Florida Panthers.